Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We're our last class of February 2023, our last class of the art of moving slow or the art of slowing down. Not always moving slow, but slowing down. It might be just our mind or our breath. Today, I have what's called eccentric training, sometimes known as negative training. So, what I want you to think about is when we do a strength training exercise and we move away from the ground, we have to pull that weight up, whatever it is that we're doing, against gravity, right? And so the weight that we're holding on to, as well as gravity itself, gives us that intensity. That's called the concentric contraction, or the positive side of the lift. When we go the other way, we're moving down towards the floor or down towards away from gravity. We don't have to overcome gravity. We're going with gravity. So it's a little easier for us to come down. That's called the eccentric contraction, or the negative. So that's where we're going to slow down today. So our concentric, or our positive areas of our lift, for instance, coming up will be a little quicker, and then going down is where we'll go slow, so that we're not letting gravity assist us and pull it down. For you to know, it's the same muscle group that you're doing both directions. So when I do this action, it's the bicep, right? When I go slow down, it's still the bicep. I'm not doing the tricep by going in the opposite direction, at least with hand weights. There are modes of other type of resistance you might do them both directions. We'll start with our Tai Chi, and then we'll move into strength training, and we'll explore this eccentric negative work. So let's come to our 8-form Tai Chi, and stand nice and tall, your feet almost connected together. And I hope this is starting to feel more comfortable to you as we move through all these 8 forms. We'll stand tall and breathe. Slightly tuck the tailbone, pull those shoulder blades back up. And we'll open our form by stepping out to the right. Let the arms float up about shoulder height. Let them float down and softly sink into the knees. Shift your body weight into your right foot, tapping your left. The left hand comes underneath. We come into right ball. Our first form is roll the ball. So we'll prep a little to the right, then step out to the left, and just roll the ball, switching into left ball position. Prep to the left, step to the right, roll the ball. Beautiful, long spine. Then we'll move into our next form, single whip. So we'll part the wild horse's mane. Prep to the right, step out diagonal, lead with your heel, and then part the mane, looking toward the fingertips. Shift your weight back to the right foot so you can lift up the toes of the left, pivoting on the heel, stepping into left ball. Prep to the left, step out right diagonal, part the wild horse's mane. Think about your breathing, your control as you pivot on the heel, stepping into right ball. Now single whip, so make your hook here with your fingertips. Prep to the right. Let that hook go out to the side as we step directly to the left and block away. So you're turning your palm away from you. Shift the body weight as you pivot on the heel. Release that hook. Let your right hand come underneath. You're now in left ball. Prep and make your hook. Extend it out. Step directly to the right. Lead with your heel. Block. Pivot on that heel. Release the hook, let your left hand come underneath. Now we're back into right ball. Waving hands like clouds. We take 3 steps to that left side. Prep first, and then wave the hands. They just come right in front of the body. We slightly rotate from side to side. On your 3rd step, we'll hold into left ball. Tap. Then prepare and moving to the right, 3 steps. Your ball can be any size, any shape. We're warming up through our shoulders, through our waist. And last step, Coming into right ball. We'll hold here. Okay, remind me, I think we're repulse monkey, stepping backward. Prep a little bit, step behind you, lead with the ball of the foot rather than the heel, open out, block the front hand, look back toward the back hand, and you've got your weight in this back foot, picking up the toes of the front. Step into left ball. Repulse monkey, stepping back, ball of the foot strikes, sink into that knee as we open out. Look behind you. Step all the way back into right ball. Great. Brush knee. So this bottom hand is going to move across the thigh here. We'll prep, step out left diagonal, brush and push. Shift your weight, pivot, and let your arms just roll the ball so that you're now in left ball. Prep. Right hand stays low. Brush knee, push out, pivot on the heel, roll the ball. Good. And now we'll take this into Fair Lady works the shuttles. We'll prep slightly, and then as we step out, block the sun. Really bend that front knee. Then as you shift back into your back leg, pick up the heel or toe and scoop that right hand underneath to come into left ball. Prep. Step out, Fair Lady works the shuttles. Right hand is on top. Shift, pivot, and then right ball position. Our last form, I'm going to step back just a little bit and we'll grasp the peacock's tail. Pivot and prep. Or prep, not pivot, prep to the right. Step out and let your arms both gently reach across your body. Now your palms are facing each other as we shift back, the arms lower, pull up the left toes, push hands, the wrists intersect, and then pull back, the fingertips float down, press away. Pivot on that heel one more time as you bring your hands to the front and step into left ball. Right hand is underneath. We prep. Step out, lead with the heel. Let both arms just reach out. Palms face each other as we come down the peacock's tail. Push hands. Draw back. Press away, each time shifting your body weight. Now pivot on the heel as we come to the front and come into right ball. We'll close our form by stepping out with the left foot, hands to the shoulders. Brush away any negativity. Lower your arms and step in with the right foot. Nicely done, standing tall. Let's take a stretch or two before we begin our strength training. The body is starting to warm up, but I want to get us into a little bit warmer phase. So let's take the right foot, step it behind the left into a curtsy lunge. We'll take the right arm over, do a little side bend. Open out with the arms as you step. Cross your left foot behind your right. Curtsy lunge, side bend. And let's do 2 more on each side. Open, cross behind, and stretch. Open, cross behind, and stretch. 1 more each side. Continue to warm up the knees a little bit, the ankles, the side waist, the shoulders. Last one. Open out, hold, and lower the arms down. Great. All right, we're starting with our squats today to get an idea of how this eccentric contraction works. I'm going to turn just a little bit of music on so I'll have some guidelines for our speed. You can pick up some hand weights here. So we have extra resistance. So each of our squats will have 4 counts. 3 are coming down, 3, 2, 1, rise up. 3, 2, 1, rise up. And again, this is just a suggestion on the pace, but what I want you to learn is that we take 3 times the speed to come towards the earth as we do coming away from the earth. This is our negative training, eccentric training. So we're combining 2 aspects of this weightlifting. Coming down, we're focusing on slow strength. As we come up, we're focusing on quicker action, which works power in the muscles. So strength on the way down, power on the way up. We're looking for good form. This is our mid-stance squat. It's not too wide. Our feet are parallel. The knees track right over the center of the foot. The focus is to load our quadriceps. We'll get some glute work as well. Now, if you want to add any variations here, feel free. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. These all can be done without weights. Body weight is great as well. Let's take this into a split squat. So your right foot slightly in front of your left foot. You're still about hips distance apart. Your back heel is off the floor. Weights can be at your chest or by your sides. Let's come down 3 counts. Down, 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 and up. Slow, 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 and quick. So I want you to be really comfortable with this exercise because we're going to add a lot of upper body work with this split squat. If the legs get tired at any point while we add our upper body work, you can take the squat out and just do the arms. We have 5 more with the right foot in front. Now, where's our breathing? What I want you to do is as you're coming down, take a slow, deep inhalation. As you come up, you'll exhale, either through the nose or through the mouth. Last one. Rest. Switch the orientation of your feet. This is helping us build a little bit more strength and balance in our split squat position. It's not a lunge, but it is very similar. The body position is just like a squat. Let's come on down. 3, 2, 1, and up. Once you get the movement, then connect the breathing. Inhale down. 3, 2, 1, exhale up. And really notice how you have to resist gravity is pulling you down to the earth. So you're slowing that down on this eccentric contraction. We have 5 more with the left foot in front. My right heel is lifted behind. Brace your abdominals. Try not to lean your body forward and do this bent over. So stay upright. 2 more. Last one. And up. All right. Make sure you have a good weight for a bicep curl. Right foot in front. As we start, we'll bring the weight right here when we're in the up position. As we come down slowly, release your bicep curl, then bring it up. 3, 2, 1, curl up. So we have that eccentric on both the squat and the bicep curl. When we're going down, we're using the same muscle group as when we're coming up, but when we're going down, the muscle is lengthening. When we're coming up, the muscle is shortening. Good. Nice job. Anytime you need to take a break, please take it. Really listening to your body. 3 more. 2. The exercise changes to an upright row. So we come down and pull it up. So as I move into each progressive exercise, you can always stay with the one before or another one that works best for your body. So check your alignment on that upright row. Elbows don't come up too high. We're working our shoulders, also hitting those biceps again. Go back to your breathing. Inhale. Exhale, come up. 4 more. So if the legs get tired, you just can keep going with the arms and not do that squat. You're in split stance position, right? So you can do that without the squat. All right, let's rest those arms down, take a break, shake out the legs a little bit. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Same 2 exercises in our split stance with the left foot in front. Right heel up behind. We start with the weights up from our bicep curl, either palms in or facing each other. Come down and up. 3, 2, 1. Curl up. So I'm demonstrating the hammer curl where my palms face in, but you can also do the traditional rotating curl where your palms rotate towards each other, then they rotate up. You can also do a reverse bicep curl, which is really difficult, but your palms are going to face forward at the top of that curl. So let's play with it a little bit, experiment. Notice the difference. What do you feel differently as you change the aspect of the exercise? We have 5 more on the bicep curl. Inhaling down, 3, 2, exhaling up, 1. Good, 2 more times. Reconnect with your abdominals. Moving into your upright row, the arms come down, and then we pull it up. Eccentric contraction on the way down. We're slowing to resist gravity. Then we're speeding up to overpower gravity. Nice job. Now on this one, your elbows don't have to be directly to the side. You can still do a row by slightly pulling your elbows behind you. So I want you to make sure that all of these exercises, if you choose to do them, are on a plane that feel good for your upper body. Let's get 6 more upright rows. Nice endurance here. 4 more. Excellent. 2 to go. And relax those arms down. Shake out the legs a little bit. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. The next sequence, you have the choice to do an overhead press or just do the squat with no upper body, or pick any of those exercises we've already done. So if we're doing the overhead press, we need to start with the weights up, and they don't have to be all the way above the head. You can bend them any amount, slightly in front of the body. Let's come down very slow. 3, 2, 1, press. 3, 2, 1, press. Now you'll notice I have my elbows pointing more to the front than out to the side. That's a little bit more safe and comfortable on your shoulder. But you can play around a little bit. You can open them out more. Come down here, as long as that feels okay. You can also straighten your arms completely up. But you might notice that if you don't completely straighten out, you have more work in the muscle. You're never really resting at the top. We have just 4 more here. Down slow, inhaling. Exhale up. 3. And we're really feeling this with the 8s. 2. A lot of control. And 1. And relax down. So we're going to give the legs a break from doing the squat and focus a little bit on the upper back with a rowing movement. So if we're here to start, soft bend in the knees, we have to pull up quickly away from gravity. So we come up, 3, 2, 1. Up, 3, 2, 1. So really important that you have that softness in your knees and you really zip up your core. Shoulder blades are back. Slightly pinch those shoulder blades. We're picking it up quick, melting it down slow. Exhale, inhale, inhale, inhale. Let's do 4 more in this bent over row position. 3. And 2. I know you're ready to work a little bit of balance. Yes. All right, let's come all the way back up. So when we're working balance, the position is exactly the same. So we're in our bent over row position. We're just going to shift our left foot and barely tap the big toes behind us. So if I face this way, I'm going to put my right foot in front. I'm here. Let's bring it up quickly. Up, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you feel like you're pretty steady, you can actually pick this back foot off the floor. So I'm standing in a 1-leg bent over row position, nice straight back. Exhale up, inhale down. So you might notice this looks a little bit like that split stance squat. So you should be really feeling some work in your front thigh and glute. Let's do 4 more on this side. Pick it up. Balance challenge if you're ready to take it. 2. 1. Oh boy, come on up. Shake it out. How do we do? And you can be on both legs, that's okay. Or let's come down to our bent over row position, get it first. Then take your right foot barely behind you, tapping your toe without changing anything else in your body. Let's pick it up quickly, exhaling. Up, down, down, down. Exhale. Now notice where you're gazing. So you want to have that head in a neutral position. So you're looking out ahead of you on the floor, maybe about 6 to 8 feet in front of you. The back foot, maybe you can lift it up now. There's a big connection with your core here. 6 more. Try not to rush the eccentric. Go slow, lowering those weights down. 4. 3. 2. 1. And come on up. All right, for glutes and hamstrings, just one set of deadlifts. So I have a little bit of bend in my knees. Back stays straight, the weights stay close to your body. Coming down 3, 2, to the knees, pull up. 3, 2, 1. Now, why do we just come to the knees and not all the way down if we're really flexible? We want to keep this work in the backs of the legs, in the hamstrings and glutes. If we come down much lower than this, we're going to put the work right into our low back, and that could be contraindicated for most of us. So we're just watching that range of motion. Let's do 2 more. One more. And relax. Okay, we're moving more into shoulders. So if you've got pretty heavy weight, you might want to come down a little bit for the next set. So I'm going to go to my 5s instead of my 8s. We're back into a regular mid-stance squat position. I want you to see if this feels okay for you to hold your weights out right about here. If that feels too difficult, grab even a lighter pair. Let me come down 3 counts, and then we lift as we stand up. Resist gravity, lower, slow. Rise up. I'm facing my palms toward each other on this, but you can certainly maybe lift your palms up to the ceiling. That would be a little bit of a different movement. Might feel that a little bit more in your biceps and pecs. But caution having your palms down, because sometimes this can cause a little bit of impingement in your rotator cuff. So I like either palms facing in or slightly up to the ceiling. You can also rotate it as you come down. So you can rotate and rotate. Let's do 3 more. Now, if you just can't get away from your weights being too heavy, remember we have bicep curls, we have upright rows. All right, just lower your arms. Shift your left foot behind you so you're in the split stance. We've got our split squat. Start with your arms up. Let's come on down slow. 3, 2, 1, come up. This is a little bit similar to the tandem stance that we worked on last month for balance. So if you're finding this is hard to balance, just move your feet a little wider apart. You'll have a little bit stronger base of support. So if this feels okay to you, when you stand up, I want you to bring your arms to the 45. So we're here. The 45. For those of you that have some shoulder problems, if that's problematic, come back to straight forward in that sagittal plane. So 45 feels okay. Maybe try one out to 90. So you have a lot of room to play with this, from straight out to the side to straight forward. So let's do 6 more reps, and I want you to vary the plane where you're putting your arms. 4. Elbows can bend any amount to make this doable for you. So we can be here. 2 more. Last one. And release the arms. Stay in split stance. We've got an overhead tricep extension. So bring your weights together. Bring them up. Here, bend your elbows slowly. 3, 2, 1. Straighten up. Good. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable with your shoulder range of motion, do this without weights so that you can work on your range of motion. If you want more of a balance challenge, hold your left knee up. Single leg stance from last month. We have 6 more. This is giving our shoulders a little bit of a break so we can do the exercises in the opposite side squat. 4, 3, modify where you need to. 2, got away from me. 1 more. And up, lower those weights down carefully. Nice, give yourself a couple shoulder rolls. Bring yourself into your split squat position with your left foot in front of you. If you need to go down in weight, take a second and take that option if needed. We start here. Go down slow. 3, 2, 1, come up. Now maybe you're saying, but Lisa, I can only lift my arms right about here. That is good, because you still feel the work, right? It doesn't have to be a certain range of motion. Might not work for you today. So straight ahead feels okay. Let's try out to the 45. Now remember, you've got some options with rotating the weights. Maybe taking the palms up. So before I turned on a recording, I talked about the importance of changing up our exercises and not always doing them exactly the same way. That's going to keep our body strength and endurance moving forward. So if you're okay on the 45, let's try it straight out to the side. Elbows can bend any amount. And if you're doing this whole sequence without weight, you're still getting a lot of work because you're resisting gravity, then you're overcoming it as you lift your arms up. If you're getting tired on the legs, just stay in split stance and do the arms only. Now let's get 6 more, and I want you to vary the plane of movement. Down. Now 4 more. Control, going slow to the bottom. 3. It's okay to do an upright row or a bicep curl. 2. 1 more. Then just lower your arms. Stay in your split stance position. We'll do 1 more set of overhead tricep extensions. Bring the weights into your chest, press them up. Starting up, you come down slowly against gravity or with gravity, but we're overcoming that pull and quickly up. 3, 2, 1, up. Good. If you need to modify, choose a different exercise, that's absolutely fine. If you want to work your balance, pick up the knee. This side is really difficult for me. We have 6 more. Inhale as the arms bend, exhale to straighten. 4 more. Ooh, really feeling it. Engage those abs. 2. 1. Slowly pull those weights right into your chest and release them down. All right, let's take a quick break, maybe a drink of water. I'm going to pull my mat out because we're going down to the floor for some chest work, chest flies, some abdominal work as well. Just check in, see how you're feeling. If you need a stretch or two for your arms, feel free to do that. Okay, so you can go same weight you just had. We're going to do a chest fly opening out on our backs. If this is too much with the arms open, then you're going to do a chest press. It's the same action here through our chest, we just have the elbows bent. So if you've got heavy weight, maybe the press is going to be best for you today. All right, let's come on down to our backs. Take the weights, not quite touching together at the top. Then we'll open slow. 3, 2, 1, close in. So when we close, let's try to stay about shoulders distance apart with the arms. So we're not going to come all the way in to touch those weights together because we kind of lose resistance of gravity just before we come level with the shoulders here. So we want to maximize gravity in this position. If you're doing a press with heavier weights, then as you open your arms, the elbows bend down toward the mat, then we press up. So you can leave both feet on the floor, or we can bring the right knee to tabletop. You can hold the right knee in table, or as the arms are opening, extend the right leg. 3, 2, 1, bring it in. So we'll do a few repetitions here. You can also stack your left knee in table and hold it off the ground. So this is going to be a lot more challenging for your abdominals. Let's get 5 more on this right side. If your arms get tired, continue doing the leg action and just let your arms rest for a second. Two more. And 1. Now hold the weights here, send your right leg out and hold it. Now if this is too challenging, put your left foot down on the ground. But try to hold that leg in place. We'll do a tricep, going down slow. Weights come toward your ears, then straighten up. 3, 2, 1. Straighten up and fly right. Yes. Now, if this is too challenging on that core and lower body, go ahead and set both feet down onto the mat. That's absolutely fine. We have 5 more triceps. Slow, 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 and quick. Connect with your breathing. Try to press that low back slightly down into your mat. 2, and 1. And let's relax. Both feet down. Give your arms a break. Realign your body position. And we'll go back into our chest flies. Open out 3, 2, 1. Close together. You can also do your press. Both feet can remain on the mat or bring your left knee up to table. Option to extend it away. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. That right knee can stack in table. Boy, I sure feel the difference going up to this layer of work. It's much harder than having the right foot on the mat. So do what you can here with this exercise. 6 more. The goal is not to move your pelvis. It's rock solid. 4 more. Inhale slow. Exhale quick. Working that negative eccentric work. 2. 1 more. All right, we'll extend that left leg straight out. Hold it. Tricep extension. 3, 2, 1. Press up. Right foot can come right down to the mat. Or both feet can come to the mat. Do what feels best for you. In this moment, really being mindful of our body, of our breathing, and of our brain, our 3 B's. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Rest those feet down. Relax your weights all the way down to the floor. If you need a little stretch for your low back, sometimes you feel a lot of work there, we can hug the knees right up into the chest. Do some circles. Just release any of that tension. So we've got a basic crunch. Feet can be on the floor or knees can be in tabletop. We'll come up quickly, 1 count. Up, down, down, down. Up, down, down, down. So we come up quick, overpowering gravity. Then the eccentric, negative, we slow down on the way down. Exhale up, inhale, inhale, inhale. So I'm going to give you some time to play with this. Maybe a couple of minutes. Some options are to add a rotation, maybe coming across, down slowly, and the other side. You can layer from there and bring opposite knee toward the elbow. But the rhythm remains the same, coming up quick, taking it down slow. Now, if your neck is starting to bother you, sometimes that's the case. When you come down, I want you to completely relax your head before you go up again. Just let it totally relax so those muscles aren't tight. You can also support your head a little bit more with your fingertips so you're really relaxing your head into your hands. Let's do about 8 more repetitions. Coming down slow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. So I want to counter all of this neck stress that we felt being in this position by turning over and having gravity on the opposite side of our body, on the opposite side of our neck. Now, if it bothers you to do back work laying on your stomach here, your option is to come up to all fours and you can do some of the work from your hands and knees. Let's bring our hands out into Superman. Opposite hand and leg come up quickly off the floor, and then we lower down very slowly. So ready and begin. We come up, down, down, switch sides. Up, down, down, switch sides. So this can be done from hands and knees. It's basically your bird dog. So you're extending opposite arm and leg out, then slowly bringing them back down to the mat and switching. Keep going and I'll demonstrate that option. Let's do 8 more repetitions. 1, 2, head nice and neutral. We've got some gravity working the muscles at the back of our neck now. We have 4 more. Up. 3, 2, 1, and relax if you're on your belly. Press yourself up. So we're all hands and knees, then push yourself back to child's pose. Just relaxing the back, tucking the tailbone under. So I'm going to give you a couple options here. If you would like to do some negative push-ups, you're here. If you would like to do some negative plank work, we can do that as well. So the negative push-up, we're here, knees or toes. We come down, 3, 2, 1, push up. So that's your negative push-up. If you're working negative planks, we'll come back here. We come forward to kneeling plank, hold, push back, push back, push back. Hold, back, back, back. So a couple of choices here from the hands and knees. You can also take this one from the toes to down dog and go forward, up, up, up. So whichever one you're on, let's do 6 more. 3, 2, 1. Press up. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Press back to your child's pose. Hold. Let's start to move into some nice stretching, nice flexibility work. So from your child's pose, rise up. Take a step forward with your right foot as we come into kneeling lunge. Rise up. Pull your shoulders back. Feel a little stretch through your left hip flexor. Bring your left arm up and stretch it over to the right side. Then we'll move into our hamstring stretch. The arm lowers, the front leg straightens. As we bring the hands down, we can pull the toes up. You can always use your hand weights for blocks here, which is really nice. So if you're not super flexible bending over, you can pick up those weights and use them to support yourself. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Then if you put both hands in the middle, you can just swing this leg around and step the left foot forward for your kneeling lunge. You can also stand up and do these stretches all the way up off your mat if that feels more comfortable. Right arm reaches, and we stretch over to the left. All right, let's shift into our hamstring stretch. Hands come down, start to straighten out the front leg, using your weights for props if that feels good. Nice long spine. So we don't have a lot of time for deep flexibility today, so the goal is just to in a short manner, stretch those muscles back out and elongate. If you've got a little bit more time, skip over to YouTube and grab the top stretches of the day video. Got a 20-minute stretch video. All right, let's release those weights. I want you to decide which foot that you're going to step up to stand up on. And I want it to be your weaker side if possible. So this is, you notice I have a little bit of a Asper-cream thing on my knee. So I'm going to try standing up on this side. So if you need a wall or a chair, grab it. Otherwise, we're going to tuck the back foot under and try to stand up without using our hands. Good. If you want to take a second and do the other side, you can come down, back down to the floor, and stand up with the other side. When you've got what you want, come to center. So if you need a wall or a chair, we're going to do a standing balance pose to stretch out the hip. So we'll bring the right knee up, pull it in. Place the ankle across your thigh and bend that knee down and do your standing pigeon. Come back up and release it. Left knee in. This is a wind relieving pose, but we're doing it standing. You can also do this on your back with a figure 4 stretch. Bring the left ankle across. Bend your standing knee and come down with your chest. Use a prop to help you balance if you need. One more breath. And come up. Bring your feet hips distance apart. We'll come back to the last stretch we did in our warm-up. So we'll open the arms out. Right foot crosses behind, curtsy lunge, side stretch. Open out. Left foot crosses behind, curtsy lunge, side stretch. One more each side. Breathe in, reach up. Press the palms and exhale. Thank you so much, everyone, for working through the art of slowing down this month. And if you've got a second to stay on with me, I'd love to chit chat. Otherwise, watch your email today for what's coming up next month. And we're going to hit it hard. All right. Thanks, everybody.